a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. KB Cam and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bringing you good music. KB Cam and Elation Radio. And here's your host, KB Cam.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond Defense Family for an amazing experience. Beyond Defense is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond Defense today at beyonddefense.org. Click Menu, then Contact. Beyond Defense, your audience will thank you.
As I turn on my TV, looking at the news, another brother being gunned down, another one accused, a homeless mother with her 3 kids, with nowhere to go, another in the line of fire, ended up in the hospital, a father only being bullied in front of his kids, another sister being fired for just keeping it real. Dividing, we're screaming stop the violence, but how can I breathe with all of this in front of me? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? The Capitol was I'm feeling so frustrated. They say all lives matter, but if it did, we didn't notice it. Police were so brutal in this brutality. We don't see eye to eye. We only see white supremacy. Who's reporting the news? She looks just like you. With tears in her eyes because she knows this is a fight. The media dividing. We're screaming stop the violence, but how can I breathe with all of this in front of me? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world with all this strife? Can we unite the world? Can we unite the world? I believe that we can change the world, one person at a time.
Shay, tell them what the focus about. Can't breathe when you choking me out. Now you notice my doubts when it comes to the unity and hope to unite. From birth, how I'm holding us right. Follow the laws of the land, you mad at the steel. But what about the people on Capitol Hill? Hope we can all learn from that and rebuild, because we can change the world. Change the world. We can change the world. Change the world.
And there you have it. Shay Samuels, Beyond the Fence in the building. David Benton. We can change the world if we just stick together. We did it. Yeah.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio. And you better be smiling.
Beyond the Fence is in the building.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what it is. This your main man, your host, Coach David Benton, and I'm in the building. And you know what? I am smiling. Yes, I is. Not yes, I am. Yes, I is. I am smiling. Why? Because I woke up this morning. Why? Because God created me in his image and his likeness. Why am I smiling? He made the sun shine. Why am I smiling? Because the Bible clearly says a merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drives the bones. So I'm smiling. That's right. In the midst of the chaos, in the midst of this thing, what we call a pandemic, I'm smiling. Hey! And what y'all heard in the intro song, that was your host, your girl. She like that. Coach Shay Samuels featuring myself, David Benton. That is Can We Unite. Her new single just came out. It's doing so good. I'm so proud of her. Awesome woman of God. We had so much fun. I'm telling y'all, we got a wonderful show for you tonight. So I know y'all got to stay locked because it's going down. Now, with that being said, can I get a drum roll? The infamous, the awesome, the magnificent, the queen, Coach Shay Samuels. Are you in the building?
Coach Shay Samuels is in.
Go Shay.
Yeah, Coach Shay Samuels is in the building, and I'm smiling.
Yes. Coach Shay, so tell me, because I'm surely going to tell you. How was your weekend, queen, woman of God, the coach? How was your weekend?
My weekend was phenomenal. I'm looking forward to all of our listeners. First, let me say shout out to Relations Radio. Let me start there. Shout out to Relations Radio, Kenny Kim. Shout out to our listeners. You guys are in for a treat tonight. But as far as our weekend, the weekend was phenomenal. As you all know, we have started our BDF 2022 tour. The thing that amazes me about this tour, Coach David, is that the tour was supposed to be in 2020 and we got hit with the pandemic. So seeing this tour come to fruition as the pandemic is starting to subside just a little bit, it really excites me. So this weekend we had an opportunity to be in a few different places, particularly ending up in Philadelphia. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But the weekend itself was phenomenal. The week leading up to the weekend was phenomenal. And, you know, we got a bit of everything. We got a bit of snow. We got a bit of rain. We got a bit of sunshine. We got a bit of everything. Ecclesiastes 3, my song entitled Season, says that there's a time and a season for everything. And I think, Coach David, this weekend we experienced just about every season that we could. So it was a great weekend. How about you?
Well, it was definitely a phenomenal weekend. I had so much fun. Also, shout out to the Beyond the Fence Enterprise family. Shout out to Miss Alma E. Neely. Shout out to my main man, the Jewel. Shout out to my bro, man, who's been doing so well. He's going so hard, man. My brother G. Will, and that stands for God's Will. Shout out to William G. Will Faulkner, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Again, shout out to the Elation family and the whole Beyond the Radio team and everyone who's affiliated with us. Is definitely a blessing, and we don't take it for granted. It's definitely a beautiful thing. But my weekend, Coach Shay, it was really awesome. Sometimes you come with an expectation, and the way God moves, it just, he takes you higher. He takes you higher than what's expected. And, you might think it's supposed to go this way, but then, it'll go a whole nother way. And you find out that way is actually better. But you submit to that way. You don't really fight against You don't fight against that way. And I think that's what us as believers, men and women of God, kings and queens of the world, we have to understand that you don't have to fight as hard as you do when you know God got you. Our problem is, Coach Shay, I think our biggest problem is that we actually think every fight the devil's fault. And we never take a look at self. Our biggest fight, our biggest challenge is self. I've said this and I said this many times and I'll say it again. God do not give the devil that much credit. God, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Shay, look, I'm going to tell you how awesome God is. Look, I'm going to tell you how small the devil is to God. God didn't even give the devil credit to sin. He didn't even say, we did the best of the devil this and the devil that and the devil out to get me and the devil come to steal, kill, and destroy and the devil is a liar. And guess what? You are absolutely correct. But I will still stand to tell you that God said in his word that when it comes to this thing that we call sin, he said the root of all evil is the love of money. The root now, you plug up the root, it's a wrap. It's over. There is no more. I'm telling you now, if you take up the root from a tree, the tree dead, the tree ain't gonna grow no more. So God did not give the devil that much credit. He said the root of all evil is the love of money. Not money itself, but what money does to the mind, what money does to the mentality. You know that song, we was listening to that song, oh, for the love of money, people will rob from their brother. You know, they say, you rob from your brother, you steal from your mother. For the love of money, you will kill. You will compromise your integrity. See, you would do all these things for the love of money, but not even God gave the devil that much credit. So you got to realize that the biggest challenge is that person you look at in the mirror every single day. So when you're faced with adversity, you'll be able to, the Bible says you'll be able to walk on scorpions and snakes. You'll be able to defeat it. The poison won't get inside you. So when you know that the defeat the scorpions and snakes, you can walk on them and they won't even hurt you. Why? Because you're faced with that adversity every day. The thing is, you got the power to make a conscious decision to turn it around. The power is in you, but we don't give God that much credit that the power he gave us inside of us, knowing that we're made in his image and his likeness. And I'm saying that because we was faced with a little thing that we would call adversity, and the only thing you did was be led by the Spirit within that is holy, which we call the Holy Spirit. Why? Why did they call it the Holy Spirit, Coach Shay? Because it comes with your integrity. It comes with your attitude. It comes with your mindset. It comes when you have a paradigm shift in your mind and you start thinking different, you start acting different. So when you face with a challenge, you allow that Holy Spirit to just guide you.
Yeah.
It was just, and that was a beautiful thing. But Coach Shay, go ahead. You know I'll go all the way to 11. You know I will.
I absolutely agree with everything you're saying, Coach David. Every day we're faced with adversity, and I was saying earlier today that no matter how much we plan something, no matter how much we plan it, there's something that still can go wrong. And our reality is that we get frustrated and we start feeling like we failed a thing because what we wanted to happen didn't. But if we do open our eyes truly to identify with God's purpose and plan in that moment, we'll see that God was trying to give us so much more than what we could have even expected. There is a scripture, exceedingly and abundantly above all things. And so God is going to do more than what we already think can happen. The doors that can open up, the people that you will meet, the opportunities that present themselves. All you have to do, shout out to Paula G, Voice Lady Wisdom After Midnight, because we always say, hashtag just show up. Don't think about what I'm going to wear. Don't think about how my hair looks. Don't think about me. Of course, be decent. You know, I'm not saying go in and just look a total mess. But when you get hung up on what kind of belt you're going to wear, does this match with this? Does it match with that? First of all, preparation for readiness is everything. But when we get hung up on the small things, we miss the big things. And that's what God really wants us to understand and see, think, and hear, and know without a shadow of a doubt that first and foremost, there are no accidents when it comes down to the things of God. And two, just because it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, it doesn't mean that it was failed. If you look at it, you'll see that there was something on the other side of that, what we would have called accident, that's going to lead you to your next. So just be open. Just be open. Don't get so discouraged about it. And we'll share some details with you guys in the second half regarding some of the hiccups that happened this weekend that really could have turned us inside out, upside down. And I promise you, the people that we were around, they would have never known it. But there's another piece of identity that happens there too, because there's some professionalism that has to take place by studying and showing yourself approved. That's what all of that is. Consistent behavior. You guys have probably seen me post that today. Consistent behavior, whether good or bad, will lead you to reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Right? Consistent behavior, whether good or bad, it will allow you to reap what you sow. It will cause you to reap what you sow, whether good or bad. So please stay tuned, because we're going to be talking about some of those trials that we went through, Coach David and I went through this weekend. But I cannot leave this first half, Coach David, without giving my mom a big shout out for the weekend. Lisa Wallace, we want to give you a great, great, great big shout out and thank you for your hospitality. She was our road dog this weekend. She literally took care of every single thing that needed to be taken care of, from food. Listen, y'all can't have her, but I'm telling y'all, when y'all see these pictures on Beyond the Radio, the Facebook page, y'all will wish you were with us. We were fed good. Ain't that right, Coach David?
Oh, yes. Oh, when I say that, look, I had to take a picture of it. Mom had to take a picture of it. My mom said, Lisa, girl, woo. Look, men and women of God, kings and queens, listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now. The food was so tender, so good, so phenomenal. It ain't been too many times the food so tender, the meat so tender, I want to drink the food. I wanted to drink the food. I didn't even need a drink with it. You could just drink the food. You didn't even have to. It was even hard. I couldn't even really chew it because it was so good. You just wanted to swallow it.
That was called liquid gold.
Oh, it was so good. I was like, oh, my God, this is yummy. And, you know, shout out to my mom, Evangelist Molden. It's such a blessing to have our moms with us, and two awesome women, and just to be in the same moment and share what we on weekend. I do want to talk about, you know, me personally as a man. You know, I'll talk about the other stuff later, what we did. It's not secondary, but it can wait. I do want to talk about, as a man, to be able to be a part of such phenomenal women, such as yourself, Coach Shay, the Sisters Lifting Up Sisters brunch. I mean, brothers, ain't they what it's Lifting Up Sisters?
Yes.
And when I say that I had such a phenomenal time, and the only thing I could think about was how many men are protecting these sisters. You know, how many men are there? So many men have lost their way. So many men have lost their position. And I'm going to tell you, it has a lot to do with the World War I or the Civil War, I think it was World War I, where when all the men went off to war. And when all the men went off to war, you know, they really didn't have no men to work. So by the time the men come back, they're on drugs, they got diseases, they got PTSD, they going crazy, they traumatized. But now you got the women that became welders, the women who became carpenters, because, you know, the women were just in the house cooking, they was with the kids. But then you come back, the women are the brick makers, and the women have really took that role. And the best example I can give you is Barack and Deborah. When Deborah told, she prophesied to Barack, and she said, listen, Barack, Barrack, wherever you want to call him, I'm going to call him Barack because of the president. And she told Barack, listen, God, she said, God said, you go forth, and he will give you that kingdom. He said, no, Deborah, you come with me. He was more confident in Deborah. And she said, well, Barack, if the woman of God go with you, God going to hand it over to that woman. But he was more confident with the woman coming with him. And I can relate to that because me as a man, I'm still more confident when I have you with me, Coach Shay. When you with me, I still had more confidence, even though I know I can do it as a man because I am an alpha male. And I still play my position, and I won't lose it. But at the same time, he didn't have that type of confidence in what she said, how God used this woman of God to prophesy to him. So he still, in his weakness, said, no, Deborah, you come with me. You come with me. So guess what happened? God handed over to the woman, just like God said. So at the end of the day, if the man don't uphold the position, the fellas got to realize God will use that woman regardless, because God not going to lose. God not going to fail. You know, his word going to go forth regardless. So as a man, that we have to really get our position back. And that don't mean that the woman back up. That means that we got to protect them. We got to protect you as a woman from the harm within, because that's who we are. Men. God created us for a certain position. And that's why I like the king, if you got the king and queen chair, the king chair is not bigger because he's better than a woman. It's because he's a bigger person. It just makes sense. That don't make him greater. He just play another position because the woman plays such a big role. But as a man, we don't protect our women. The men have lost their way. And that's why I'm an advocate for men to say, listen, these brilliant women, we got to get back to our rightful position and stop allowing them, let's be husbands, let's be fathers, let's be men again, because we're looking for mothers. And I think that's the biggest problem. So just seeing all these women is like, me as an alpha male, I'm like, wow, I wonder how many men are really protecting these women. I wonder how many men are knowing that they are a real male, a real man, and being there for that woman. So, but I had such a phenomenal time just seeing all these women. It was so beautiful to see women lifting up one another. I didn't see no hatred. I just seen all warmth.
Yes,
it was all warmth.
And you make a good point, Coach David, because, you know, hosting conferences myself and, you know, just kind of adding you into the conference and having that male counterpart to actually, you know, do exactly what you just said. You don't know the importance of having men around. There's a number of things that happen. And I remember my first conference, I didn't think about that in 2015. I just wanted to bring a group of women together, empower one another, encourage one another. And their husbands came with them. And one of the men, he stood at the door. And I didn't realize, like, how important to even have that was. So women, you know, if you're having events, if you're doing conferences, and you think, well, you know, it's just us girls coming together to do what we do, I didn't even know the importance of it, to be honest with you. And they were standing at the door. And I said, why are you standing at the door? And he said, because there are people who can wander off the street just to see what happens. Who's in here to protect you guys? And so at that point on, I decided that I would always have a male figure present in order for us to feel safe and feel comforted. It's important. Husbands, if you have women out there who are doing something like I do every day, whether it's for my business, whether it's for the music, anything that I do, I try to make sure, and I have to be honest. I know in the little bit of time that we do have, I have to be honest. I have had stalkers call my phone after an event. For weeks after an event. I have to say it happens. And people are surprised just because they don't see us completely as mainstream that could happen, but it happens. And so we have to be protected. Men, it's important for us to be protected. And while we're talking about that, Coach David, I do want to give a great big shout out to two phenomenal women who hosted an outing this weekend for us, Miss Kendra Wallace and and my big sis. I call her Latinica. I'm just going to call her Latinica. But my big sis, Tish, and their husbands, they hosted a phenomenal event for us to go out and just enjoy some time while we're on this tour, which we'll talk about more, but just to enjoy some family time. And we got an opportunity to do that as well. And we had a phenomenal time. We don't want to leave anyone out this weekend from what we experienced because we got a chance to kind of dibble and dabble into a lot and still get some family time in. So I do want to give a great big shout out to everyone who came out just to support, just to show love, but for the two of them who put it together for us to just have some fun. Coach David?
Thank you so much, Wallace family. It was such a beautiful time. Oh, man, beautiful spirits. And, just everyone was just focused on just having fun. I love to just be in an atmosphere where everybody can be themselves. Nobody is over righteous, but at the same time, nobody is straight hell bound. Everybody is acting like adults and acting in love and encouraging one another. I enjoy that, Coach Shay. I enjoy that because as a man of God, I always come into a space to where, after doing 13 years in federal prison, I didn't just come out thinking of how to do better in crime. I really got myself in gear, and people don't understand there's a lot of guys that's incarcerated, and that's why we call it beyond the fence, because I was behind the fence. And like we always say, everybody got a fence that they're trying to go beyond, whether your offense is drug addiction, whether your offense is alcoholism, whether your offense is being mistreated by your counterpart, or whether it's mental abuse or physical abuse. We all got a fence that we're trying to go beyond. David's fence was Goliath. Jesus' fence was the cross. And, we always tell us that we're our own worst enemy. So just going beyond that fence and seeing a lot of guys like myself who have so much time, young guys, go in your 20s and come home when you're almost 40, and some doing 15 years sentence, 30 years. I did 15 years sentence, and I got other people doing 30 and 30-year sentences in life. And just seeing everybody just really getting themselves in gear, getting themselves in line, to just be better.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't ask for nothing better than that. Iron sharpened iron, Coach Shay. So I didn't have no choice but to come out and just look at the world differently.
Yeah.
And I know you are about to go to a music break. So you can take that one, Coach Shay.
No problem. We talked about all this amazing empowerment, and you guys know who we are. We love to see everyone around us grow. We love to empower others, and we love to give everyone kind of their time to shine. Tonight, we're going to introduce a new song to you guys. This song is entitled He Reigns, and it's by an amazing, amazing artist that we met this past weekend. And look, it happens just that fast. We said it, just show up. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know the opportunity that God's going to set in front of you. And this woman had an amazing testimony. We'll have to have her on her show. But on the music break, the first song you will hear is entitled He Reigns by Mrs. Sutton. And I promise you're going to love this song, and even more when we have her on the show. But we wanted to at least get the song together for you guys tonight so that you can hear it. So without further ado, we'll talk a bit more about her on the other side of this music break. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go into the music break. So, where the music at? 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 Where the music at?
I'm free in my mind. His wisdom entered my past. I'm living my best life because His love showed me the way. I'm letting nothing tear me down. I am gonna stand my ground. Keep moving, keep pushing. You are free. Oh yeah. Keep loving, keep smiling. You're gonna make it every day. Letting nothing tear you down. Make sure you stand your ground. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns forever. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns
how hard it gets. Believe in yourself and trust God and know who you are in God. Keep moving, keep pushing, keep loving, and you will make it. God bless. All I know is He reigns forever.
She had a dream that she could do it. Somehow she lost her way and didn't stick to it. She wanted the house, the cars, the money. She did all that she could. In her mind she was so focused, doing overtime in the diner. Just wanted someone to wine and dine her. She didn't believe in herself. Believe in yourself, you can do it. Believe in yourself, ain't nothing to self. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. She was diagnosed with cancer, going to the doctor for some answers. They said she wouldn't make it, she couldn't take it. She did all that she could, getting sick from the chemo. Bank account started looking real low. She knew she could make it, she wouldn't take it. She believed in herself. Believe in yourself, you can do it. Believe in yourself, ain't nothing to self. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, even if nobody does. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Yeah, you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. You can make it. Yes, you can. You can make it. You can make it. You can make it. You can make it. Believe in yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Believe in yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't when you can. Don't let nobody tell you that you can when you can. Believe in yourself.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling. Beyond the Fence is in the building.
That's right. That's right. Welcome back to Beyond the Radio. I'm your co-host, Shay Samuels, Coach Shay Samuels, and I am on with your main man, Coach David Benton. If you missed the first half, no, we weren't just rambling. We were not just rambling. We're setting it up for the second half. We had such an amazing weekend, and we wanted to share some of our backstory with you regarding our weekend and how things are going. In this half, we're going to talk a lot about the tour. But first, we have to give a great big shout-out. And if I mess up the name, please, please, please forgive me. It's Jaquita. It's Seddon, or I'm going to say Seddon, Sedden. You guys can find her information on our Facebook page at Beyond the Radio. And I know that you will be hearing more of that beautiful song, He Reigns. Listen, the song, when I first heard it, it actually moved me. Coach David and I had an opportunity to meet with this young lady. She was one of the artists at the Sisters Lifting Sisters, which we're going to talk about again on the second half. But you guys missed an amazing opportunity to just be blessed by all of these women. But I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors before we go into it, Coach David. Shout out to Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. If you heard the commercial in the beginning of the broadcast, that was Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Are you looking for a new voiceover for your program, as a program director, as a music director? Do you have a business or a new business? Do you have something that you just want the world to know about? Are you trying to build an infomercial? Just provide yourself with some quality service by reserving an opportunity to meet with Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. How do you do that? At Paula at paulagvoice.com. You can contact her at Paula at paulagvoice.com or visit her website at paulagvoice.com. Let her know that the Beyond the Fence family sent you. Also, if you're looking for a DJ in the surrounding area of Knoxville, Tennessee, or the surrounding areas of any state, really, or virtual, we're going virtual, and we have been for some time. I had an opportunity to utilize DJ G. Weezy is what I call him, William Faulkner on Facebook. But I had an opportunity to book him for my mom's 60th birthday party, and it was amazing, and also for 2 years of the Goddess and Everything conference, and it was amazing. So you can do it also. If you are looking for a DJ, look up DJ G. Will. G. Weezy is what I call him, at beyondthefence.com or www.beyondthefence.org. Also, last but not least, David, can I get a drum roll? Hey. I feel like I have a little competition with the beatbox. What do y'all think? Let's Talk Business Consulting Strategy and Coaching Group, LLC. It's the Beyond the Fence expansion company. You guys know that we help existing businesses. We help businesses with new ideas. We help visionaries bring their vision to life. That's just what we do here at Let's Talk Business. We also work to make sure that your workshops and your programs and everything that you want to offer your employees for leadership, team building, all of those opportunities can be under one umbrella with Let's Talk Business. So are you looking for a new opportunity to strategize within your company, or are you looking to build? Well, let's talk business. You can do that at aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com. Let us know what you need, and we can talk with you. Also, I would be remiss, as always, every week, not to bring in the youth. Coach David, you do it better than I do, so take it away.
Yes. If you have any youth that's not just troubled youth, but youth who just want to be entrepreneurs, better versions of themselves, what we do at Let's Talk Business Coaching Facility, we make sure that your youth, we give them the tools that's what's already inside them, that gift that's already inside them, we bring it out of them. they get the answers from within, so they be able to execute it, so they can be a better version of themselves. And for those who troubled, because we all have trouble, and that's what we implement into them, that we're all troubled, and we're all facing adversity within ourselves. So we help them to just really just bring out the greatness that's within. So if your youth want to be entrepreneurs, whatever they want to become, we give them tools and exert we give them that map where they can follow, so they can execute their vision and bring it to life. And if you go to aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com, that's where you can find us.
Yes. And you can also find us on Facebook at Facebook at Let's Talk Business Consulting Group, Instagram at LTB Consulting Group, and also on YouTube, where you will find all of the videos of our latest workshops and team building exercises as well at Let's Talk Business Consulting Group. I'm going to go ahead and go back into this amazing segment because, Coach David, I'm kind of still on fire from this past weekend. Let's talk about Sisters Lifting Sisters Prayer Breakfast. It's something that we have been waiting for a long time. And we were so happy to add this to our tour. So if you are not aware, the Beyond the Fence family, we are on tour starting March 1st, 2022. We are on tour, and shout out to all the venues that we have had an opportunity to touch. But this past weekend, it was all about Sisters Lifting Sisters. Shout out to Reverend Helena, who reached out to us about a year ago to take part in her July 2021 event. And due to the pandemic, it was shut down like everything else. And we had a chance to recoup. And yesterday morning, we had an opportunity to be in Philadelphia with some amazing women. And I will tell you, Miss Jaquita was one of the women that we had an opportunity to meet. An amazing artist, strong voice. Did y'all like that song? Very, very, very strong voice, very unique as well. And, she reminds me of, someone told me this when one of my songs got on the Joy FM. They said other artists don't like to be compared to other artists. But I can tell you, for independent artists, it's always great to be compared to a mainstream artist. And so when I heard her song, I thought about the young lady who sings, the Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. My God, that is who you are. That's who she reminded me of. And I was like, what a beautiful voice. So we had to play this song on the show today. And listeners, we know that you love it. We know that you love it. Coach David, what did you think about the new song?
You know what, Coach Shay, you ain't going to have me up here. Let me fix myself, because you ain't going to have me up here crying, because it was nice, I'm a man. So you ain't gonna do me. Just call me out, ask me how I feel about the song. But it's a good song, and I'm gonna tell you, I love her spirit.
Yeah.
When I say, just to hear her live, I heard her say, well, I might not have this and I might not have that. And that's all fine and dandy, but I was focused on what she did have, and that was a phenomenal voice.
Yeah.
What she brought forth was something powerful. Her voice was powerful. It was unique. It was like people like Anita Baker have a deep voice, or Tony Braxton kind of remind you of the Anita Baker. But then you have people like Tracy Chapman had a unique, deep voice, but it was a pretty sound. It's something that'll keep you listening. It's something about her voice that just it's smooth.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And it's like you might not have this, you might not have that, but they don't have what you have.
Come on.
So everybody have what they have, and some people don't have what the next person have. So you don't have to have all the highs and lows. The thing is, it's a lot of people that don't have that smoothness of a flow. And also a lot of people don't have that such a beautiful spirit and along with so much honesty.
Yes.
And humility.
Yes. What I was going to say, Coach David, and she was accompanied by her son. And when I say that keyboard player and that drummer tore the house down. Look, when I say y'all missed it at the Sisters Lifting Sisters Prayer Breakfast, when I say they tore it down, you will be able to see some of those videos again.
They sound like it was like 6-7 people.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, when I showed people videos already and they were like, there was only 2? Yes. Every band in America, you better look at the video and you can learn from these 2 guys because they laid it down. So it was awesome to see that she was accompanied by her son and just seeing this family, because you don't see that a lot, especially in the church. You don't see families doing that a lot in the church. I don't know what their full background is, but I do want to give a shout out, because what son is going to come to a women's prayer breakfast on a Saturday to play for his mother? Kudos to you, young man. Kudos to you. I do want to talk about some of the trials that we had and how this band came as. They really should have been a plan A. They became the plan B, and we said it earlier in the broadcast that we faced some adversities coming in, and you're going to have it. But like you said, Coach David, God's way is so much better, right? Coach David and I, like we always do, we had a full set put together of songs. It was a compilation between Coach David and I, something that we do when we're on the road. It gives both men and women an opportunity to not only hear our music, but for us to minister to people through our music. And we got to the event, and unfortunately, the audio wasn't working, and we were trying to fix it throughout, the beginning of the breakfast, but it just wasn't working. And so Coach David and I, we looked at each other and we both said, you know what, the band is here. Hopefully they will play. And I've heard this. I've heard if the band is there, just use them, right? But we have, and we are on tour, so we want people, of course, to hear our music. Let me share something with you guys before we close out. I want to share with you, we said it earlier, that your way may not be the best way. And at times, you're really going to have to be flexible to God's plan in order for you to truly be effective. Can I say that again, Coach David? Let me see if I can remember it. Sometimes, no, all the time, you will have to be flexible to God's plan and for you to be effective. And I'm going to tell you, that's what both the kid and I did on this day. We were flexible to God's plan. If we had gotten locked into, we need to do this set because we are on tour, I believe, Coach David, although we still would have been effective, I believe the people that were there, they may not have gotten what they actually needed. Now, you're going to get it because that's BDS music. You're going to get it because it's BDS music. But I thank God for the plan B, because the band was there and they were able to accompany me in doing what only God could do. Well, of course, I was the vessel being used. We teach you guys that every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that faith without work is dead. So, yes, I had to be there to literally hold the mic and to jump up and down the way I did to get people excited about the things of God. But really, because it happened the way that it did, I believe a lot of breakthrough happened. I believe a lot of people got what they came for. A lot of people were delivered from things that they came in with that they probably wouldn't have if what we would have considered the failure didn't happen. What do you say,
Yes.
Coach David?
I want to say this, Coach Shay. Being in this industry, at the end of the day, we have to be realistic about it. Right here on Beyond the Radio, men and women of God, kings and queens, we don't like to lie to you. We're very honest. This show track that we had, we actually did it at Hosea Feed the Hungry in front of 10,000 people literally, and it was a lot of celebrities, and that's air quotes, but it was, and we did a great job. And you know what? We like, yeah, we're gonna do the same show track, and we had plans. We re-practiced and we practiced, and we like, yeah, man, we really, because our hearts is in the right place, and we really want to bless people with not just music, because we always say we're more than music, but we want to minister to them through song. And when it didn't go as planned, being in this business, in this industry, it's hard to use someone else's band because, for one thing, they're not your band, so they don't have to play it. So for them gentlemen to just say yes, they let me know how his mother brought him up. It's so deep. It's much deeper than just the music. That's character.
Yeah,
that's character.
Yeah.
His mom had to bring him up in a very pleasant way, and she had to be such a phenomenal woman herself for that young man, for both of those young men to be like, you know what, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Because people don't normally use other people's bands because the band members like, well, you ain't pay me, or I'm not with you, and it's not their responsibility. Yeah. And you know what? It really is not their responsibility. And I had that before, Coach David. Right. So it was such an honor. It was such a blessing for them to, for their hearts to be touched enough and open enough to say, and transparent enough to say, you know what, let's go forth. And they did a great job.
They did an amazing job, yes. They did an amazing job. And, there were a number of prayer warriors in the house as well. And there were a number of people who really sowed into us. And I mean, literally in words. And don't forget, just because you're somewhere and you're the person who is supposed to present in any way, form, or fashion, that you can't be blessed, that you can't be blessed by the others that are going up there do what God has called them to do as well. And I believe it's what we needed on this tour. So I want to thank Reverend Helena and her team for making sure that we were taken care of and making sure that we were a part of it, and also adding more value to our tour as we go. So I do want to give a shout out to all the women, those of you who are listening tonight from Sisters Listening Sisters. Miss Joanne, we want to give you a great big shout out.
Yes, thank you for everyone to everyone who cooked the food. Shout out to them.
Yeah, everything was amazing. Philly, we thank you guys for bringing the snow, because we don't get that often. So we thank you for bringing the snow. We don't get that often. And you'll be able to see some of the playback on the Beyond the Radio Facebook page. So make sure you go to the Facebook page where you will be able to see a lot of the playback. We got a lot of footage, and we're going to put that together for you guys so that you'll be able to see it. But you have to go to the Beyond the Radio Facebook page to do that. Also, we want to give a great big shout out to two of our artists before we close out, G Will and Miss Amma Neely. We want to say congratulations to the both of the artists for making the Gospel Choice Award, Choice Music Award nominations, first round. You will be able to see their information on the Beyond the Fence Facebook page. That's BEYONDAFENCE Entertainment ENT on Facebook. Make sure you go. Make sure you vote. Shout out to David Benton and myself, who have been nominated for a Voices of Gospel Music Award. That's VOGMAs. We are now in the voting season, so please go ahead and get your votes in there at Voices of God. It's VOGMA.org as well. You can find all of the nominations on our Facebook page at Beyond the Fence ENT. Make sure that you vote. We appreciate your vote in advance. And I just want to encourage everyone before we close out to always remember to be flexible. You are effective in your own right, and no matter who's around and no matter who may do it better, there is nobody else like you. God has created you unique. God has created you to be effective in what he's chosen you to do. So just walk it out. Don't be fearful in it. Just walk it out. Coach David?
And also, before we go, I know it's time to close, but please mark your calendars. July 30th, we will be having. It was a finale concert in Atlanta, Georgia, July 30th, but we have been booked some more. But this concert is going to be awesome, and anyone who wants their business to be presented, we're going to do, help you market your business. It's going to be in front of a lot of people. It'll be on a big screen. We'll promote it right here on Beyond the Radio. We'll promote it on social media. But if you want your business to be recognized, then just get at us at beyondthefence.org. That is BEYONDAFENCE.org. And it's Beyond the Fence Enterprise. We took the entertainment off because we're so much more than music. But July 30th in Atlanta, Georgia, mark your calendars at 3D Church. We love you guys. Shout out to the Beyond the Fence family. Shout out to the Elation family. Shout out to Beyond the Radio. We love you. With that being said, where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music? Where the music? Where the music? Where the... It's your boy David Benton. Some people, they be like, yo, I just have a wish for my birthday. Or they would say I had 3 wishes. I wish for so much more for you. I wish for so much more. What I wish for is that we live more. In the inner city, living ain't so piss poor. Realize we hypnotized by the discord. We blow money fast. What you think we rent for? Yeah. Did it big, my kids wish I could've did more. Wish women would be women and men would be men, or there was no child abuse or domestic violence. In the streets really moved in the act of silence. Wish the Catholic priest wasn't pedifying. In the government officials would tell the truth instead of lying. I'm born a lion. My daddy name is David Lyons. Wish we could do more laughing instead of crying. Wish we wasn't afraid of giants. Wish we could all be inspired by David and Goliath. Wish society wouldn't pacify. Make us ride, turn back around and buy it. Intrinsiify it.
Walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I keep my hands raised high when there ain't nothing left. Try to stay focused on the Lord above. With all the things going on in this world, that's where my help comes from. I wish that the world wasn't corrupt. I wish that we're united, spread love. I wish I know that Jesus is enough. Got my mind on my mission, G.O.D. That's what's up.
Yeah, I wish we all get our credit straight. Wish that single mother didn't have to wait for Section 8. I wish we all would investigate why the world is crooked and we can't set it straight. Yeah. God is not the author of confusion, so ask yourself, why there's so much confusion? With some husbands wasn't so abusive, wifey putting makeup on to cover up all the bruises. All we do is make excuses about the chains, the pains, and all the nooses. I wish religion wasn't so polluted. This is all facts you can't dispute it, barely have a right to do it. So much can't be proven. I wish we really choosing to teach our students, pursuing disillusion, turning us all to ruin. I wish our court system really would start improving.
Through the valley of the shadow of death, I keep my hands raised high when there ain't nothing left. Try to stay focused on the Lord above. With all the things going on in this world, that's where my help comes from. I wish that the world wasn't corrupt. I wish that we're united, spread love. I know that Jesus is enough. Got my mind on my mission, G.O.D. That's what's up.